going on to other still offbeat topics. I was listening to Bill Burr, again, the guy whose podcast inspired me to do this podcast, so he's the guy to blame. Somebody wrote in and told him, you should look up this guy, Paul Hellyer, who is the former big, high-level Canadian politician who just kind of went on the record talking about UFOs, the United States government, blah, blah, blah. He made this claim that there's not only are there extraterrestrials among us, but they're actually working with us for who knows what cause. And, that was exciting, interesting to hear this. I'm on Paul Hellyer's, which is Hellyer, his Wikipedia page, just to kind of find out a little bit about him. I think he was like a defense secretary, whatever the equivalent position in Canada would be. I think it's amazingly arrogant to think that we are the only species in the whole vast universe. The odds of that are so amazingly stacked against that you have to assume that there is something else out there. And honestly, there's enough bizarre stuff that I'll make that leap to say that, yes, we have seen UFOs. There has to have been some encounter at one point in time. I don't know why or how, and I certainly haven't seen anything myself. But the possibility for it, I think, is strongly there. I'll go on record and say I believe. I want to believe. But yeah, I'm reading so this was brought up, and you see a lot of people writing about this now, like it's a big new thing. But even on this guy's Wikipedia page, he's been a big proponent of extraterrestrial issues for a long while. He's gotten really into it for the last 10 years, but even in June 3rd, 1967, he flew in, blah, blah, blah. He was on hand to inaugurate, I love this, a UFO landing pad in St. Paul, Alberta. Let's see, the town had built this, a Canadian Centennial Celebration Project, a symbol of keeping space free from human warfare, which actually I think a lot of us aren't aware of, but there actually is this kind of global agreement that all the satellites we throw out into space, they will not have any type of munitions on them. There won't be any warfare. There won't be any offensive capabilities of them. I'm curious. I kind of wonder how much that's been bent here or there. But there is, I don't know what that's called, what that agreement is, but that is actually an established thing. So I guess hats off to Mr. Hellyer, who in 1967 had the foresight to know this. But I love that this UFO landing pad area has a plaque on it, or a sign on it that says world's first UFO landing pad designated international by the town of St. Paul as a symbol of faith that mankind will maintain the outer universe free from national wars and strife. As if we had, even then, we hadn't landed on the moon yet, but we are making this oath that we will keep the outer universe free of warfare. That future travel in space will be safe. Again, we on Earth who haven't barely traveled in space are making this. We'll be the beat cops that are making sure people aren't speeding up there. Safe for all intergalactic beings and visitors from Earth or otherwise, and are welcome to this territory and to the town of St. Paul. And I'm sure the intergalactic community uncorked the champagne knowing that they are welcome in the town of St. Paul, Alberta. No offense to St. Paul, Alberta. I haven't been there. I'm sure it's lovely, but honestly, it's a little cocky to add that last sentence in there. Let's see. Banning weapons. 2005 is when he started to really... 2005 was a great year, of course. White Sox won the championship. A month before that, he started making headlines publicly announcing he believed in UFOs. He eventually started to take issue with George W., saying that he believed George W. was putting a forward station on the moon. The United States, this is a quote now, the United States military are preparing weapons in which could be used against the aliens. They could get us into an intergalactic war without us having any warning. The Bush administration has finally agreed to let the military build a forward base on the moon, which would put them in a better position to keep track of the goings and comings of the visitors from space, and shoot at them if they so decide. Even in '05, really present day, do we have the capabilities of engaging in an intergalactic battle with whoever's coming and going? Again, I think that there are the UFOs coming and going, and I do think that the governments know more than we know they know. And I do know you're all listening. You aren't, but I mean the government, the people that are, for whatever reason, spying on us, as that was a big news story this week, which we all knew that too. There's nothing surprising in there. So I'm just going to, you don't have to read my emails. I'm just going to podcast it out there for you. That way at least I get a hit. And maybe, government people listening to the podcast because it's your job, if you want to give me $1, I will start advertising for you as well. In fact, we'll start the bidding at 50 cents. If you're an inside government informant that wants some free ad space, if you just want me to promote your Facebook page, or if you've got like a kite flying club, maybe it's out in St. Paul, Alberta, let me know, and we'll cut you a deal. If it's a social organization that you want advertised, we'll start with just a penny, and I think that'll pick up. I think that maybe that'll be my first paid ad. Basically, this guy's got a big thrust saying that the governments of the world, not just America, but all governments, we need to come clean with the alien technology that we have discovered, that we have that's been shared with us to help control climate change. He talks about how, again, that there are informants working with the United States government that are of alien origin. And he says that we have been, for thousands of years, communicating with 4 different species of alien. I want to know the source. That's a bold statement. You have to back that up. I want to see the little footnote, and I want to read the next document. I want to see his interview with some. Again, I'm really attacking this guy, and that's not the intent. The Honorable Paul Hellyer, who has done obviously a lot of good things for Canada over his many, many years of service, and hopefully I get to meet him sometime. If he finds this, hopefully he understands that I still respect and want to meet this guy, but openminds.tv is the website I'm on that has an article, but you can find this article or similar ones many different places. Aliens are living among us. This is a quote. Aliens are living among us, and that there's likely at least 2 of them working with the U.S. government. More specifically, Hellyer announced that at least 4 species of extraterrestrials have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. I don't doubt that. Actually. That's crazy. That might sound crazy for me to say, like go on record and put it out there. I'm okay with that. How do you know that? I can say that, hey, it makes sense to me. Sure, why not? Why is it only 4? But this is something he said while testifying at a citizen hearing on disclosure in Washington, D.C. It was basically a mock hearing. It did involve a couple of congressmen, maybe their former congressmen and senators. Still, it was in a very official capacity. The people that were present for this, not that it actually meant anything. That's cool. I'm all for stuff like this going on. But I feel like if you're going to make claims that that there are at least 2 different alien beings communicating with the U.S. government, and also that there's 4 different species that are visiting Earth, it's just part of their daily paper route.